Almost all of the festivals, including Diwali, which we celebrate today, are either a pagan festival or a farmer festival, which then overtaken by religious groups. For example, in East, in Arabic nations, people were already celebrating Muharram and Eid, but then came Islam and they took over those festivals and labeled them theirs. Christmas, which we celebrate, is a pagan festival. People in West were already celebrating during the time of Christmas, even before Christianity came. But then came Christians and they took over the festival and they named it or labeled it as theirs. Suddenly, Christmas has become a Christian festival. They have attached the birth of Jesus with it. Similarly, almost all of the festivals which we celebrate here in India, for example, Diwali. Diwali is never a festival of Ram or Krishna, but most of the festivals, most of the religion which originated in India attached their stories with Diwali because people were already celebrating Diwali. And it is way harder to attach people to something which is new. And it is way easier to attach something to something which people were already familiar with, which people were already celebrating. So Diwali is actually a festival of farmers, and farmers in India was celebrating it after the period of harvesting, because once we are done with harvesting we are free of doing the agriculture for a little period of time. It is a kind of a break which we farmers used to get after finishing a period of harvesting and then to begin it another period of farming. We used to get this little break, and just because we are done with harvesting we also used to get opportunities to make money. So it is a period when we have free time and we also have money, because we are done harvesting, we have sold our crops, we have brought money or other things. So during the time when we have time, the next period of farming is still not begun. So during this time we used to have lots of time to do the cleaning. We had enough money to buy new stuff, new clothes, new stuff for households, and we also had time to celebrate because we are done with the hardest part of farming, the final part of farming actually. The final part of farming is to do the harvesting and to sell your crops and to store a little of it for our own use. So we are just done with that period and the next cycle of farming is about to begin. So what to do in this period which we have got in middle of it? Celebrate it, use it to do other important things like cleaning our house, and we are also with money, so let's buy stuff for us, something we've been looking for, new clothes and new stuff for house. So this is what we were already doing. But then came religious marketers actually, and they saw that people are already celebrating this festival or they are already celebrating their life during this period. So what to do? Let's begin attaching our stories with it, with something people are already familiar with something people are already connected with something people are already celebrating. So somebody attached the story of Ram with it, somebody attached the story of Krishna with it, somebody attached the story of Mahavir with it, somebody attached a story of Guru Gobind Singh Ji with it. Almost all of the festivals almost all of the religion which originated in India has their some of the story attached with the festival of Diwali, because it is easier to do it when people are already celebrating. Let's attach your story with it, and maybe not in this generation but people from next generation will begin thinking or taking it as if it is the part of that religion only. And this is exactly what happened with the festival of Diwali also. This is what Christianity did with Christmas in West. This is what Islam did with Muharram and Eid in East. People were already celebrating Muharram and Eid before Islam. People were already celebrating Christmas before Christianity came. But religious group kept on taking over all of these festivals, which were festivals of pagans, which were festivals of farmers, and they made it theirs. And simply because mainstream media is rarely telling you any truth, only people who are curious like me can go deep into things to find out the truth of it, can know that what is what actually, and where things are coming from, and what are the actual history of things. Otherwise, most of the people are learning from mainstream media, and we are learning from the society around us. One more thing, Diwali used to be a festival of celebrating with lights. And it is also a kind of a festival which is about celebrating consumerism, because this used to be a final time into the year when we used to have money which we could use to buy stuff for us. So everybody used to clean their houses, clean their shops, and they used to lit lights. Every shop, every house used to have lights inside and outside, so that they can attract more people, buyers, so that they can make their house and shop look good, and they can attract more buyers, and they can also make easier for buyers to find their shop, because lighting can draw the attention of people, and it makes them easy to navigate, simply because light is everywhere. Do not forget, during that time there was no electricity, so lighting lamps used to be a way of helping people navigate easily on paths and passages. It was easier for people to let others know where their shop is, where their house is. So this is what we are lighting the lights for. And there were no firecrackers. Firecrackers came afterwards. It was China who invented gunpowder. And then from China, Mongols took gunpowder. Mongols took gunpowder to Mughals or Turks, actually. We call them Mughals, but these are Turks people. So gunpowder was invented in China. Then Mongols took it with them. Mongols took the gunpowder with them to Turks. And then when Turks came to India as Mughals, they carried that gunpowder to India. And with Indians, I mean, there's one important thing which you should not forget about Indians, is that we Indians are poor people. We are poverty stricken people because of this reason. Simply because we are poor people, we are poverty stricken people, we all have this inferiority complex of competing with somebody who's rich and powerful. In fact, if you look at most of the customs and rituals we follow in our marriages are coming from Mughals only. Those Mughals or Turks warriors who came from east and dominated over us. Why do we wear sherwani? Why do we sit on horse and chariots during our marriages? Because we want to prove to ourselves and to others that we are also rich. We can also sit on horses and chariots. We can also afford clothes like the kings wear. So many of the rituals and customs we follow today are there because of our inferiority complex. We people are poor people, we are farmers, we are poverty stricken. So because of this reason, we have inferiority complex, especially towards people who are more powerful and richer than us. So we have this urge of proving to the world and to everybody and to ourselves also that we are also rich, and we can also manage what these powerful and rich people can manage. So when rich were sitting in chariots and horses, at least for a day of marriage, at least for a day, when it is our marriage, we can sit on chariot, we can sit on horses. At least for a day, we can wear dresses like our kings are wearing, sherwanis and all, jutis, you know. There are other names of it, but in my part of the geography, we call it juti. So whatever name you want to understand it, I hope I'm talking about those shoes, which kings used to wear. We call them jutis here in my city. So this is the word I'm using to refer to it. I hope you're getting what I'm trying to tell you. So similarly, this tradition of busting fires is also one tradition or custom or ritual, we can say, we got from these Turks and so-called Mughals. Gunpowder got invented in China. Mughals carried it with themselves to Turks, and then Turks carried it with themselves to us Indians. And we used to watch them celebrate with firecrackers. They used to firecrack during their celebration. And then first, the upper middle class of India started copying them, only because of our inferiority complex, only because we have this urge of proving to the world and proving to ourselves that we are also rich and we can also afford things what these powerful and rich people can afford. So when we saw those people busting fires or busting crackers during their celebration, we also started busting crackers during our celebration, and eventually it has become a part of Diwali. So this is how the final form of Diwali, which we celebrate today, has taken its final shape into, or it has taken its final shape from. We farmers were celebrating the period between final harvesting and the next cycle, the period between final harvesting and between the next cycle of farming. We were celebrating it by buying new stuff, by cleaning our houses, and by lighting lamps. In fact, during these times, if you notice, most part of India have mela. Okay, what do we call it in English? Fairs, maybe. Fairs, melas, So why do we have melas during Diwali in almost all part of the India? Why? Because people knew that this is the time when people are free of farming and they are also full of pocket. They also have money. So when they are free, when they have money, what would they do? They'd spend. They would spend money. So this is the best time to sell your product. So all of these traders used to used to get collected over a place, and they used to settle their shops there, and then they used to sell their stuff to people. And this is how melas originated. Fairs, we call them in English. So this is the concept of fairs, when people knew that people are free and they are also full of pockets. So let's go to places, let's arrange our shops there, and people would come and they would buy from us. And this is how melas started in all different parts of the India. So this is the story of Diwali. Actually, this is how we started celebrating Diwali. It is a farmer festival. We were celebrating our final harvest in form of Diwali, and we were using that time before we begin next cycle of farming by doing other important things like cleaning our houses and buying stuff for us. Then, as I have just told you, religious groups and religious marketers found it easier to promote their religion by attaching it to something which people were already connected with, and with which people already celebrating. So in West, Christmas was a pagan festival. Christianity took over. In East, Eid and Muharram were again pagan festivals, but then Islam took over. In India, Diwali was a farmers festival, but then other religion took over. There is a story of Mahavir, there is a story of Krishna, there is a story of Ram, there is a story of Guru Gobind Singh Ji also attached or connected with Diwali. So it became easier for them to promote their religion through the festival which people were already celebrating. So this is exactly what happened, and this is exactly how the form of Diwali which we are celebrating today took its shape. Anyway, happy Diwali. Happy Diwali to all of you. And we are living in free world, so I'm not doing any moral preaching. Celebrate it in whichever manner and whichever way you want to celebrate. Your money, your life, your time, and your choice to celebrate any day of your life in whichever way or in whichever form you want. So celebrate it in whichever way you want. But this is what the truth of Diwali is, which I came to know. So I thought of sharing with you people. Happy Diwali to all of you.